Well, finally, the Eagles have clinched a playoff spot.
We better turn around. Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. So we're going to go over some, obviously, from whether you're watching the video tonight, you're watching it the next day, whatever the case may be, we're going to be talking about Sunday's games, okay? Especially the important ones, the Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills. My unbiased opinion, and obviously towards the division as an Eagles fan as well, because I have to play both sides in this video regarding this whole entire situation. Number one seed, the playoffs, all of that stuff. So the number one thing I definitely want to say is because San Francisco beat the Cardinals, which I would have loved for San Francisco to lose. Hopefully they lose next week against the Baltimore Ravens. That's really the only time that they have a chance of maybe losing, but we'll see what happens where things can maybe be shaken up for the number one seed, which I doubt it, but we'll see. So we needed a Rams loss or a Cardinals loss, and Cardinals lost against the 49ers, and the Rams beat the crap out of the Washington Commanders. So the Eagles have finally clinched a playoff spot, and I don't care. You know, they're going to clinch anyway, regardless, you know, whether it was this week, next week, whatever the case may be. Okay, great. They clinched a playoff spot. This is just the start of everything. Next is the division. Then, obviously, winning a playoff game, getting to the NFC Championship game, and obviously getting into a Super Bowl and getting your second championship is all I really care about right now. Getting in is great, but at the same time, you know, the Eagles have to get their shit together, and I think we all know that, and we'll talk more about the Eagles a little bit later in this video. Now, the Buffalo Bills, the Dallas Cowboys, unfortunately, you know what, this was just one of those games where, you know what, this was the start of the Dallas Cowboys and their gauntlet schedule. And this is the start of it, where they're not playing at home. They play better at home. They've only won 3 games on the road. I mean, not much, not against great teams either. You know, so this is just one of those games where the Dallas Cowboys were beaten pretty bad, to be honest with you. I mean, they were beaten 31-10. I mean, it's like reminds me of them playing San Francisco when they faced a very good, very high-class defense. Both starting safeties, Micah Hyde was out for the Bills, and obviously, you know, Malik Hooker was out for the Cowboys, so both of their defenses really, you know, didn't have their starting safeties. But really going into this game, I mean, it really didn't take much because Dak Prescott is literally the last ranked quarterback in the league when the team is trailing. He's the most failed quarterback out there, as much as he's an MVP conversation, whatever the case may be. When the Cowboys trail in games, they don't do well, especially against good teams. And Dak Prescott, I mean, Dak Prescott should have had, 4 picks in this game, literally. He should have had over 10 picks for the season already because of this game. There was about 3 drop picks in this game, and obviously he threw one later. He threw one in the fourth quarter when obviously they were down, and this is when, you know, Dak is going to have to take a shot downfield. And the Buffalo Bills just were a more physical team. Makes me jealous, man. I miss having a defense like this. I wish the Eagles were like this, and unfortunately they're not right now. We're going to see what happens on Monday night, but yeah, I mean, the Cowboys really couldn't get anything done. I mean, the Bills were hitting hard all night. I mean, they were closing the gap. Their linebackers were all over the place. I mean, they were physically manhandling Dallas on every single tackle. Okay, not to mention, like, you know, Josh Allen didn't even throw for 200 yards. I mean, he really didn't have to do much in this game at all. Didn't have to do much. I mean, James Cook, my God, man, James Cook and that running back core. I mean, at this point, like, this is why a run game is so important, and this should be an example for the Philadelphia Eagles and why you have to run the football. I mean, James Cook had 179 yards on 25 attempts. 25 attempts, 179 yards. Hit another 42 yards in receiving as well. It's so nice to see running backs get involved. And the way to beat the Dallas Cowboys is you got to run early on them. You got to tire them out. And that's what the Eagles don't do. Okay, that's the biggest problem. Latavius Murray and James Cook, they did a really good job. Did a fantastic job. Last night, tonight, whenever you're watching this video on the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, this is what Dallas has been dealing with the last couple to a few years. Every time they get into December, whether it's a good record, bad record, whatever the case may be, the number one problem Dallas always has by December to the playoffs is they cannot stop the run on teams. Doesn't matter who it is. They always have this issue during these 2 months. You know what I mean? So that's been the main issue so far. Okay. And Dak Prescott really didn't do much. I mean, I just, try to get the run game going, the pass game. I mean, the Bills are a physical defense. They can play zone. They have the players to do it. The communication is perfect. They're getting pressure with their front four, and they're always blitzing. I mean, I can't even count how many blitzes that they did on Dallas's O-line. Okay, Dallas was getting some injuries here and there, so it really didn't help their situation at all. But that's what happens when you play like that, when you play physical football, hard-nosed football like that. And Dallas just came off of a win, killed the Philadelphia Eagles. They just came off of a big win on the Philadelphia Eagles, a highly emotional divisional win. Slaughtered the Eagles. They got full of themselves, cocky as hell, and that's what we expected going into Buffalo. They're what, I don't know. They've only won 3 road games this year. I mean, they haven't done much. I mean, they're not. I mean, look, as the 49ers are probably going to win unless they lose against, if they lose against, the Ravens or whatnot. I mean, I think they're going to get the number 1 seed regardless. And unless the Cowboys are home, I don't think they'll do much of anything. I mean, they look like a totally different team on the road. That's just been the main thing. And the Eagles have obviously played better on the road in a lot of cases, too. But not too bad at home. But it is what it is. So I watched this game and I was like, man, dude, like this is how you beat up a team, like physically, just beat them up, just beat the crap out of them. And I absolutely loved it. I absolutely thought it was awesome. And you know what? At the end of the day, like, look, Dallas already clinched. At the end of the day, Dallas has already clinched a playoff spot. The Eagles have already clinched a playoff spot, okay? And at this point in time, now you get to see like who makes the right adjustments in the playoffs, and that's what the adjustments that you have to make. I just don't think because of Dallas and what they have done, and I don't like to talk about previous years, but it's almost happened every single year. Once this team gets into the playoffs, bad against the run, when the quarterback, has everything on his shoulders and Dak Prescott, when the Cowboys trail in games, Dak Prescott is the last ranked quarterback in the league that can really do anything to get their team to win. I mean, he's the last ranked quarterback to make the big jump to get the comeback win. And that is 100% true, unfortunately, for them. I'd like these guys to shoot their gaps. I like, the Bills defense really, I was just like, man, I was astonished on just how physical they were. Like, I know that defense was facing us and it was tough because Hurts had a lot of pressure on him that game. That game went to overtime and it was a tough one there. But the Eagles did beat this team. Jalen Hurts scored 5 touchdowns. Okay. 3 passing, 2 rushing, and a crazy ending for the Eagles for that. The Eagles have fallen off the last couple weeks and hopefully will get back on what they're doing, okay? So this doesn't mean Dallas can't be good later on, but this has just been the same problem. This is what they just started their gauntlet. They've already lost their game at Orchard Park, to the Buffalo Bills. Now they have to travel to Miami, and because the Eagles should win the division, because not only the ending schedules between Dallas and the Eagles, but because of the tiebreaker division wins and stuff like that. So the Eagles will have the lead in that regardless and should lock up the division, which we haven't had a repeated NFC East divisional winner since I forgot what year it was. Okay, a long time ago. We haven't had a repeat division winner in the NFC East, and the Eagles might be getting that, which is great. I'm just discussing it. I don't care about it. The Eagles, I want to get the trophy. Like, that's all I care about, because the Eagles have enough of their own problems right now. I mean, we already know they were going to clinch to get into the playoffs. We already know that, they will lock up the division, which they should most likely. But I have to say, man, like if you have stuff on tape right now, this was the perfect game to take it. Okay, DeAndre Swift has got to get reps. Has got to get more. We've been asking for this all year. It's just to a point now where I think Howie Roseman is trying to force Sirianni to play Kenneth Gainwell a lot more, and I'm sorry, but it's not the best talent. Okay, if I was to think anything, Kenneth Gainwell is the third best running back that could do much of anything. Not saying he's bad, but I think as a good group of running backs, I feel like DeAndre Swift, and I don't know why they're protecting him so much. I don't know why Swift is not just used, period. Like, I figured they were just saving him for the playoffs. I figured they would save him for the second half of the season after the bye week, but it's actually a lot more than that. It's a lot more than that because, I mean, 18, this guy right now, towards the last 4 games, with rest obviously, should be getting 18 to 25 carries a game. Should be. There should be no Swift in the first quarter, Gainwell in the second. Okay? We know what the Eagles have to do run game wise, and I really hope they fix it on Monday night because this is just fucking ridiculous. I'm just tired of watching this team get pass happy. And when you have a successful run game like the Bills were just using and running in so many different creative ways, and then they start doing the play action, and then they start to incorporate play action when it makes sense, because when the Eagles were doing that against Dallas over and over and over, play action, even against 49ers, it was the same shit. Okay, you can't run play action without a successful run game. And obviously, creativity in plays is a huge factor here because I don't think the playbook is huge for the Eagles offensively. It's looking pretty damn bad. It's just not enough for me to say, whoa, I see a play I've never seen. You could tell when you see a play you've never seen before, and you're like, whoa, why don't the Eagles do more of that? You know, we've seen that this year where they'll take one play out of their back pocket, and you're like, holy shit, like, damn. You know, and it's like awesome. You know, it makes you feel good a little bit. You know what I mean? So, you know, hopefully that's the case. And, you know, when in regards to the Eagles defense going into Monday night as well, because really at the end of the day, a lot of people are, oh, it doesn't matter if the Eagles don't have to win Monday night. They really don't have to. But at the same time, they really do, because the Eagles, you know, I would love to get first seed, but it's not going to happen. And to go to second seed, sure. I mean, that's a possibility, I guess, definitely, no doubt. But you still have to win. If you want to keep second, you want to stay at the second seed, where I think the Eagles are most likely probably going to get that spot if they don't choke away the next few games and really see what's going to happen with this defense with Matt Patricia calling the plays now, since Sean Desai has literally been kicked to the basement. I know he wasn't fired. People were like, he's not fired. What are you talking about? I'm like, yes, I know he wasn't fired, but he pretty much is. I mean, do you think they're going to let him help? I mean, what is he doing here? What is he helping with? I honestly don't know. If they don't want him touching the playbook, he's going to be up in the booth watching things to maybe give Matt Patricia some, see if there's looks or something that he can help him with, I guess. Matt Patricia is, he's had top defenses with the Patriots. I'm not defending him at all, because obviously when he called an offense for 1 year and it was horrible. He went to Detroit. That was horrible. I mean, some coaches just lose their mojo, but some coaches actually, you never know. I mean, Matt Patricia's going to be a big failure, and don't expect so much in 1 week, because the Eagles just changed it this week. So I'm glad that the Eagles are changing DCs now than a week before the playoffs, because that would have been really bad, because you're potentially going to have Avonte Maddox back. You'll have Zach Cunningham back. Hopefully Nakobe Dean will be back. So hopefully you'll be able to set these players up for more success. I don't think it could get any worse outside of Matt Patricia. I honestly don't think it can get worse. Okay? The only thing that's good with Matt Patricia is he has been a DC for years, okay? And, it's either going to work or it's not, but I'm willing to sacrifice. I'm willing to take a shot, and I'm glad the Eagles woke up this week. I'm glad that, I don't know when this decision, did this decision come after the 49ers game, or, were they thinking about it after the 49ers loss, or was it like after they got beat by Dallas? Did they wait till the end of the week, or was it more like, hey, like, we're going to make a big decision this week, we're going to talk about it, we'll figure, Howie Roseman's like, we're going to figure it out. But I want Matt Patricia to run the defense as he wants it and he sees fit. I don't want them to say, okay, here, Matt Patricia, here's the defense. I want you to still run this defense the way that Gannon ran it to when Desai ran it. That's not going to work. And Howie needs to let go. They need to either keep Matt Patricia this year into next year, or depending on what happens, if it's good, bad, ugly, great, fantastic, there's some promise, I don't know. But something has got to be there, okay? You have to let these OCs and DCs run their scheme and not have control over it. Yes, you can make adjustments. That's perfectly fine. But, when you had Kevin Byard going to Sean Desai to help scheme against Seattle, I think that was a big, damn, that's, not that it's not bad to get feedback from your players, but at the same time, you have to. I don't know how many weeks this has been going on. We don't know the backstory, if the players have been really trying. Sean Desai has been running out of ideas for weeks how to use this deep. We're not blitzing enough. We're not physical enough. All our positions are out of focus. No players playing well in this scheme, period, okay? You're not going to have Slay Monday night. You're not going to have, you're going to have Keely Ringo getting a lot of reps, which I'm really happy about because I feel like there's some guys that really need some work. You know what I mean? And I don't think Seattle's quarterbacks are great. You know what I mean? And I feel like the defense could do a lot more with a better DC and a better play calling. We're going to find out if Matt Patricia really changes things dramatically with this defense this week. We're going to find out, are they playing the same type of defense, but a little Matt Patricia aggressive type flair to it? Or are they just putting them there and saying, hey, run this, just make it a little bit different? And it's not really, when we watch it on Monday night, it's not really making a big difference when we're seeing it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm kind of getting to. Watching these teams play on Sunday, whether it was the 49ers, Cardinals, whether it was Rams, Washington, whether it was, the Cowboys, Bills, the Bills especially, because we've already played that team. And that defense is crazy, man. That offense knows how to create plays. Joe Brady does a really good job over there with that. I mean, the Bills switched offensive coordinators during the season. There's nothing wrong with switching coordinators because people are like, oh, once you switch coordinators, you're in panic mode. And yeah, it might be a panic move because you want to save your season before it gets worse. If you think it's going to get worse, change it up. Okay, so Brady goes over there doing a pretty good job with, the Bears changed their defensive coordinator. I thought they've been playing a lot better. They've lost some games, but they're still playing a lot better this year. So just because you change to a different coordinator, it doesn't mean the sky's falling yet. The Eagles lost 2 in a row. We're pissed off as fans right now. We're beyond pissed off. We're just nitpicking at shit. Some of us have lost hope. I mean, I'm still supporting this team. I really hope that I'm more happy that they did something with the defense. They made a change, which was great. The offense is obviously still in question. The coaching is still in question. And the one thing the Eagles have on their side is time. They got 4 games left before they have to get into the playoffs. Okay, they have 4 games left to get their shit together. Is it a lot of time? No, but I think it's enough to tweak some things out with your offense and at least a new play sheet, something, because what we're running is too predictable, like a lot of players have talked about. And this defense needed change. This scheme has got to change next year, and it has got to change the rest of this season. So I'm wondering if Matt Patricia actually has really redone this whole defense, in his own mind of how he sees it with the players he knows that we have, okay? Wasn't a big fan of Matt Patricia coming here. Nick liked him a lot. Apparently the relationship is really good. We'll see how it goes. But you're getting somebody that has a lot of experience. Sean Desai has only been a DC for, a year? 2 years? Not even that. I think he was only a DC in 21, and that was it. Under Vic Fangio, before that as a defensive quality control guy under Fangio. But that's it. I mean, you took Gannon's system, put it into 2023 and said, hey, we need to find a coach that is going to be a slave to the system of running that system. You know what I mean? Someone that's just going to be a yes man and listen to everything and have to follow this type of thing. And I felt like that was a big failure. I think that's on Howie Roseman 100% because that's a big no-no. Things got to change. So Other than that, that's pretty much it. I know I went on a little bit of a rant. We talked about Sunday's games. Eagles clinch the playoff spot, but Eagles could lock up the division to be repeat division winners. But that's not the important thing here. The important thing right now we have to get going is obviously the play calling has got to be better. The coaching has got to be better. And we need to beat Seattle on Monday. Okay, I don't care if first seed's out of reach. They still have to. You never know what could happen, guys. You never know. Okay, I don't think we're going to get it, but, any given Sunday's every given Sunday. 49ers are the best team in the NFL right now, and potentially you could be facing them again, and hopefully not get embarrassed. And maybe with Matt Patricia's DC, maybe with a different philosophy of what we're doing on both sides, this team will fight a little bit more, and they shouldn't quit because they have a lot in front of them. They control their own destiny right now, and there's a lot on the line. So the Dallas Cowboys are who they are right now. So they've showed it tonight. I mean, they can't even score more than 10 points. So, it is what it is. I'm not surprised. I'm not. So, other than that, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see what happens with the Eagles on Monday night. I'll see you guys on the next one. Shakes up, follow, slide. Peace out, guys. Peace.